Hello students, welcome to the lesson 10 of the chapter 6 from the subject Advanced Structural Analysis. So in this lesson, we'll study how to develop shape functions, okay, for axial bar member. So in this lesson, we'll study for a 1D bar element with two nodes. Okay, so these are axial bar members, that too 1D, one dimensional bar elements with two nodes. Okay, the method the coordinate system what we are using is Cartesian coordinate in this lesson, and we are using the normal method of calculating the shape functions, right? So in the next lesson we'll do using natural coordinate. Everything being same, we'll use the natural coordinate, but in this lesson we're using the Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so let's see how it works. Now let us consider an element with two nodes at ends. Okay, so as we discussed, so this is for two noded elements. So we'll take a element which has two nodes at ends, say 1 and 2. Okay, now let u1 and u2 be the displacement at the nodes respectively. So the displacement at this node is u1 and the displacement at this node is u2, right? Now let us consider a point P, say I'll call this as point P, where we want the displacement, and the displacement at this point is u. Okay, so there's some point P for which we want the displacement. That displacement we call it as what? U. Now u is given by a function n1 u1 plus n2 u2. So what is u? U is the displacement at P. What is u1 and u2? They are the displacement at the coordinate 1 and the node coordinate 2 respectively, and here n1 and n2 are called as your shape functions at the point P with respect to a node 1 and node 2 respectively. So n1 is with respect to node 1 and n2 is with respect to node 2. What are n? N are nothing but your shape functions. Now what is shape function? Say for example, if there is a beam like this or an element like this, now at this point there is some displacement. Okay, at this point there is some displacement. Now at nodes in FEM, at nodes we can easily find the displacement, but if there are no nodes in between, no, what we have to do, how to find the displacement? So these displacement in between anywhere can be found using the shape functions. Okay, so shape function are nothing but some interpolation. So some interpolation function which will help us to find the displacement in between two nodes. Okay, so that is the exact meaning of your shape function. So now let's get started. In this Cartesian coordinate system, I'll be solving two cases. Okay, so the case of Cartesian coordinate system. First case what I'm considering here, so we'll take it as case 1. Origin outside the member. Okay, now what member are we taking? We are taking a two noded member, right? So this is your two noded member. So let's call this as node 1 and let's call this as node 2. Now let u1 be the displacement at node 1 and u2 be the displacement at node 2. Okay, so let's consider a point P of x where you want to find the displacement. Now what does it say? The origin is outside the member. So let's take an origin somewhere here. This, let us call it as x. So origin is somewhere outside the member. So this is your origin, right? So what will be the x coordinate here? The x coordinate here will be x1 and the x coordinate here will be x2. Okay, so this is how you should consider the figure, right? Once you consider the figure, what is u? What is u? So we'll take, let u be the displacement at any point P of x. Okay, so how will u be written? It is written with the help of an interpolation function. So u can be written as a1 plus a2 x. Right, now if you want to write this in matrix form, what will you do? You will write it as 1 x, and here you will write a1 a2. So see, if you multiply this with this, what will you get? If you multiply this with this, so it will be 1 into a1 plus x into a2. That will give you a1 plus a2 x. So I'm trying to write it in the form of matrix. Okay, let us call this as equation 1. See, this is the procedure you have to follow whenever you want to find shape function for any type of structure given to you. So for what are we solving now? We are solving for a two-noded 1D axial element. Right, now what? This is your writing of u. Right, then what we have to do? We have to write apply boundary conditions. Okay, applying applying boundary conditions. Okay, so now at node 1, what is the value of x? X is equal to, see, what is the value of x at node 1? x1. And what is the value of u at node 1? u1. Right, so now if you substitute this in this equation, say I'll call this as capital A. So if you substitute this in A, so in A, if you substitute, what will happen to that? u1 is equal to a1 plus a2 x1. Now similarly at node 2, what is your x? X is equal to x2, and what is your u? U is equal to u2. So substitute this in A. What will you get? u2 is equal to a2 plus, sorry, a1 plus a2 x2. Now if you want to write this in the form of matrix, how will it be? u1 u2 is equal to, right, so I'm taking a1 a2 outside, so what is remaining here? 1 x1, here 1 x2, right, this multiplied by a1 a2. Once or twice if you practice, you will come to know how to write it in the form of matrix. See, now if you multiply this with this, you will get these two equations only. See, 1 into a1 is what? a1. x1 into a2 is what? a2 x1, right? So that's how you're getting this u1. Similarly, 1 into a1 is a1, x2 into a2 is a2 x2. That's nothing but your u2. That is how you will get this, right? Now I actually why are we doing this is to find this a1 a2 to substitute in this one. So what I'll do, I'll send this portion on the other side. So what will happen to that? If we send that other side, I'm writing this on the left hand side and this on the right hand side. So what will happen? This will become a1 1 x1 1 x2 inverse into u1 u2, right? What is the formula for inverse of any matrix? It is the formula for inverse of any matrix, 1 by determinant of that matrix into adjoint of that particular matrix which is given to us, right? So let us do that here. So what will happen to this? What is the determinant of this? 1 into x2, that's nothing but x2, minus 1 into x1 is nothing but x1. Now what will be the adjoint of this? This you have to interchange, and this you have to change the sign. Okay, you know how to do the adjoint. So this will be x2, this will be 1, this will be minus 1, this will be minus x1. So this is the inverse of this particular matrix. So this multiplied by u1 u2, and here you have a1 a2. Okay, so now let us take this as what? Equation 2, right? Now what we have to do is substitute 2 in 1. Okay, so we are going to substitute this equation 2 into equation 1. So what will happen to that? U into 1x. So in place of a1 a2, we should write this entire thing. So 1 by x2 minus x1 into x2 minus x1 minus 1, 1 into what? u1, u2. So now multiply this with this. See, this is what? 1 into 2, this is 2 into 2. So this and this is same. So you can multiply that. So what will you get if you multiply? I'll take this here on this side. So what will happen? 1 into x2 minus x. So this will be what? x2 minus x. Again this into this. So minus x1 plus x. Right. So this is your 1 into 2 matrix. Here you will have u1 and u2. Now let us take this inside. So I am writing it here. So you will be what? Taking those values inside. So x2 minus x by x2 minus x1. This minus sign I'll put it on the other side. So x minus x1 by x2 minus x1. So this multiplied by your u and u2, right? So this is your final u value. Now we know that we have discussed here previously what is u? N1 u1 plus N2 u2, right? So we know that u is equal to what? N1 un plus N2 u2. Now if you write this in matrix form, how will you write? N1 N2, here in this you will write u1 and u2. So this is here this u. Alright, now let's call this equation as equation 3 and this as equation 4. Now you compare your 3 and 4. So on comparing, if you observe, this is u, this right side matrix is u1, u2. Right, now here there are two values. One is corresponding to your n1 and the other one is corresponding to your n2. Right, so on comparing, what will you get? N1 equal to, N1 will be equal to x2 minus x by x2 minus x1, right? And your N2 will be equal to x minus x1 by x2 minus x1, right? Now one more important thing, the length of this particular beam, let us take it as L. So what will be L in terms of coordinates? L will be equal to your x2 minus x1. This is important. So this is what length of your element. Okay, so L will be what? X2 minus this, if you do, you will get the value of L. So if you replace that here, what will you get? X2 minus x by L is N1 and x minus x1 by L is your N2. So this is very, very, very important. Understood? So what is this? This is the shape function of a 1D axial member with two coordinates in Cartesian coordinate system, that too when your origin is outside the member. Okay, so for that particular thing, this is your coordinate. Now this was your case 1 in your Cartesian coordinate system. Now if we move to the case 2, see, this will call it as case 2. This is also Cartesian, but here you observe the origin is at the end of the member, not outside the member, but at the end of the member. Right, now if we start drawing the diagram, how will it look? So these are the two nodes which we have. This is node 1 and this is node 2. Right, here this is x1, here it is x2, and what is the displacement here? u1. The displacement here is u2. Now let us take a point P of x where the displacement is u. Now where is your origin? At the end of the member. Either take it here or take it here. I am taking it this portion. So this is your x or origin. So this is your origin. So the only difference is there the origin was outside the member. Here the origin is at the end of a member. Right. Now same process we need to repeat, but there is a slight variation here when we apply the boundary condition. So now let me take the displacement at P of x is what? U. So U will be equal to what? A1 plus A2 x. So what is u, the displacement at point P of x. Okay, so displacement at point P of x is given by this way. Right, now if you want to write it in matrix form, how will you write? 1x you will take common, and here you will write a1, a2. Now this will call as equation A. Now we have to find what is a1 and a2. For that, what we have to do, we have to apply boundary conditions. Now what is the boundary conditions? At node 1, what is the value of x at node 1? See, the origin is here, so x will be equal to what? 0, right? And what will be the value of u? U will be equal to u1. So if you substitute that in this equation, what will happen? So your u will become u1 will be equal to a1 plus a2 into 0. Right, now coming to node 2. What is the value of x at node 2? Now suppose this is the length of the beam L. So at node 2, the x value will be equal to L and the u will be equal to u2. So what will happen to this? u2 is equal to a1 plus a2 into L. Now if you write it in matrix form, how will you write it? So this will be u1, this will be u2. Right, here what will happen? 1, 0, 1, L into a1, a2. Now I want a1, a2. So I'll send this on the other side. So what will happen to this? a1, a2 will be equal to 1, 0, 1, L inverse u1, u2. Right, now what is the inverse of this? Determinate. So 1 into L is L. Right, suppose I'll do it here. So the determinant for this matrix, say A, if I call it, it will be 1 into L minus 1 into 0. That's nothing but L. Okay, now what is the adjoint of this? This L will come here, this 1 will come here, here there will be minus sign. From 0 you don't have to put any minus sign. This into u1 and u2. So this is what your a1, a2. Understood? Now what will we do? We'll call this equation 2. Right, now substitute two in A. What will happen if you substitute 2 in A? U into 1 minus x, 1 by L, L 0 minus 1, 1 into your u1, u2. Right, now multiply this with this and write it separately. So what will happen? 1 into L is L minus x. This will be what? 0 minus x into u1, u2. Now take this L inside. So what will happen to this? L minus x by L. This will be minus x by L, u1, u2. So call this equation 3. Okay, now we already know that u is equal to what? n1 u1 plus n2 u2. So if you write it in matrix form, it's n1 n2 into u1 u2. We'll call this equation 4. So on comparing 3 and 4, compare these two. So what can you write? Your n1 is equal to L minus x by L and your n2 is equal to minus x by L. So further we can simplify this. If we take L for both L by L minus x by L, it becomes L by L will be 1 minus x by L. This is your n1 and minus x by L is your n2. Now when will this shape function come? For 1D beam element, right, from 1D beam element for Cartesian coordinate system when the origin is at the end of the beam. These are your shape functions. Okay. There's a small change here. It's 1 into 0, x into 1. It's plus x. Okay. So this will be plus. Here this will be plus, and here this will be plus. Now if you want to draw the shape function, see n1 what did we get? 1 minus x by L, and n2 what did we get? X by L. Right. So now at your node 1, what is the value of x? Check here. Node 1, what is the value of x? X is 0, and at node 2 x is L. Okay, so at node 1 your x is equal to 0, and at node 2 your x will be equal to L. So substitute in this. So what will it become? N1 is equal to 1 minus 0, that's nothing but 1, and N2 will be equal to 0. Substitute 0 in this, right? Here you should substitute L. So if you substitute L, what will it be? 1 minus L by L. So L by L, this will be 1. So 1 minus 1, this will come up to 0. And what will be the value of N2? That will be L by L. So it will be 1. Okay. So for N1, how will the diagram come? So this is your node 1, this is your node 2. So at N1 is 1 and N2 is 0 at node 1. When we are putting x equal to 0, so this is your 1 unit, this is your 0. So you connect like this. Right, this is a linear line. This is for your N1. Similarly, if you do it for N2, what will happen? N2 or node 2. This is your node 1, this is your node 2. Here what did we get? At N1 we got 0, and N2 we got how much? 1. Okay, so this is linear. This is how your shape function will look. So this is when we give weightage to the node 1, and this is when we give weightage to the node 2. Here x is equal to 0 and here x is equal to L. So these are your shape functions in graphical representation. Okay.
Thank you.